My parting word would be this. Make sure that whenever you put something in your mouth, that something is going to complement you and that it's going to serve you well. It's going to support your nervous system. Because if you don't, you will find yourself stressed. Not only are you going to find reasons to dislike me, you're going to dislike yourself.
Allow me to introduce you to Alfredo Bowman, better known as Dr. Sebi, a distinguished natural healer and world-renowned herbalist. Unlike traditional medical practitioners, Dr. Sebi's expertise in herbal medicine and healing methods did not come from formal education, but from his curiosity, intuition, and life experiences. Dr. Sebi's journey into the world of holistic healing began with the teachings of his grandmother, Mama Hay. It was through her wisdom and guidance that he discovered the power of natural remedies and developed a deep understanding of the symbiotic relationship between plants and the human body.
If the herbs are for healing, when did it change from the herbs to a carcinogenic chemical? I was arrested. Why was I arrested? Because of the same thing that probably Jesus was hung for, defending what is called righteousness. You could be right, but you could also be dead right.
Dr. Sebi believed that the modern food industry fell short of providing adequate nutrition for overall health. With the rise of convenient processed foods tailored to the fast-paced lifestyles of the younger generations, many people have turned away from the traditional practice of preparing nutritious meals from whole, unprocessed ingredients. In his teaching and seminars, Dr. Sebi often highlights the potential dangers associated with the consumption of processed foods, which have been linked to an increased risk of developing chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and even cancer. And when it comes to food processing companies, you can't make a list without adding Cargill, a prominent American global food corporation. Since their establishment in 1865, Cargill has grown to become the largest privately held corporation in the United States in terms of revenue. Their secrets lie in the acquisition and creation of smaller food processing companies. This expansion allows them to have major influence over the production and distribution of processed foods, with a massive portion of products lining supermarket shelves having been altered, produced, or influenced by this industry giant. The consequences of this widespread influence are far-reaching, especially in light of the troubling statistics surrounding the effect of processed foods on global health. According to the World Health Organization, poor dietary habits, which are often characterized by the overconsumption of processed foods, contribute to around 11 million deaths annually. This raises concerns about the role that companies like Cargill play in perpetuating these health issues through the production and distribution of unhealthy food products. It's no wonder why Dr. Sebi said they only care about profit and not about your health. Statistics reveal that over 70% of dietary sodium intake in the United States comes from processed and restaurant foods. Sodium is often in the form of table salt, which is frequently added to processed foods to enhance the flavor, making products more appealing to consumers and masking any unpleasant tastes that may be present. Since processed foods are loaded with sodium, eating too much can accumulate in the bloodstream, resulting in high blood pressure, which can strain the cardiovascular system and increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney disease. To ensure the longevity of processed foods, many food manufacturers often rely on preservatives, which are substances added to processed foods to maintain freshness, prevent spoilage, and extend shelf life. However, preservatives like sodium nitrate and potassium sorbate can lead to the formation of cancer-causing compounds in the body, increasing the risk of cancer. It will interest you to know that these preservatives or additives are commonly found in processed meat like sausages, deli meats like salami, ham, bacon, patties, and sliced luncheon meats, including those made from turkey and chicken. According to the World Health Organization, these groups of meat are classified as Group 1 carcinogens, making them unsafe for human consumption. Yet, we have them stocked in every grocery store like any regular food. Food coloring is another dangerous chemical added to processed foods by many big food manufacturing companies. The purpose is to make the food more attractive to consumers, compensating for color loss during processing or storage, or simply making it appear more vibrant and appealing. These chemicals include synthetic food coloring or dyes like red 40 and yellow 5, including synthetic lakes such as red 3 and yellow 6, which have all been shown to cause hyperactivity in children, while others have been linked to cancer as they contain known carcinogens. In fact, coloring agents can also trigger allergic reactions, asthma, and eczema in sensitive people. And one of the reasons people get addicted to processed foods is because of their high sugar content. Most food and beverage companies add tons of sugar to make their products more appealing to our taste buds, which can lead to a cycle of craving and overconsumption. This is because our brains are wired to respond to sugar as a reward, releasing feel-good chemicals like dopamine. As a result, we can become dependent on this sugary rush, making it difficult to stop at just one bite or sip. For instance, a typical 20-ounce or 600 milliliters bottle of cola contains approximately 65 grams of sugar, which is equivalent to about 16 teaspoons or 5.5 sugar cubes. This is already more than your recommended daily sugar intake, so imagine what happens when you consume more than one of these beverages. They cause a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin levels, leading to insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and certain cancers. Similarly, some processed foods and beverages claim to be sugar-free or calorie-free, but they still end up tasting so sweet. And you might be wondering how, but the simple answer is artificial sweeteners. These substances include aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, which offer a sweet taste with little to no caloric content, making them popular alternatives to natural sugars and products marketed as low-calorie or diet options. However, artificial sweeteners can alter your gut microbiome, leading to changes in the way the body processes glucose. It can equally increase the risk of chronic diseases, including headaches, digestive problems, and even cancer. Artificial sweeteners can confuse the body's natural ability to regulate blood sugar, leading to metabolic disorders, insulin resistance, and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Advocating for a return to nature and a more mindful approach to nutrition, Dr. Sebi sought to educate people on the importance of a diet centered around whole, unprocessed foods. He actively promoted the importance of consuming nutrient-dense, plant-based foods that align with the body's cellular structure while raising awareness about the potential harms of GMOs, hybrids, and chemicals found in the typical Western diet.
Moms have me doing things every morning like this. That's sea moss. I've been falling on my knees every morning to check them. And if they hurt, then something is wrong. Sea moss is alive. Sea moss is natural. Sea moss has potassium iodide and potassium bromide. It has natural silica. That's why my bones, I could fall on my knees, because sea moss is the best thing yet. The best I ever had.
Dr. Sebi's extensive travels around the world, including the Caribbean, North America, and Central and South America, led him to develop a unique perspective on health and wellness. Through his research, he concluded that mucus and acidity within the body create an environment conducive to sickness and disease. According to Dr. Sebi, bacteria and viruses thrive in such conditions, resulting in these health complications. Armed with this understanding, Dr. Sebi created natural cell foods and formulated a plant-based diet to fight these bad conditions. The primary goal of this dietary approach was to achieve an alkaline state within the body by optimizing cellular health and minimizing the formation of mucus and acidity in the body. This in turn helps in preventing and eliminating sickness and diseases. Even his followers testified that his alkaline-focused diet can help prevent or even reverse chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and cancer by promoting an internal environment that's inhospitable to disease-causing pathogens. The core principles of Dr. Sebi's diet involve the avoidance of processed foods, animal products, and genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, while prioritizing natural, alkaline foods. Dr. Sebi's diet primarily focuses on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds that are believed to be less acidic and more alkaline forming within the body. Examples include leafy greens, berries, quinoa, and raw nuts. In addition to these foods, Dr. Sebi's natural vegetation cell food compounds incorporate herbal remedies and botanical formulations intended to detoxify and nourish the body at a cellular level.
I had asthma, I had diabetes, I was impotent, I wore glasses, and I weighed 291 pounds at age 30. The man looked at me and said that I was dying and that I had to change my way. Then he asked me, "Do you believe in God?" I said, "Of course I do." He said, "Well, we have to take it up a notch. You have to deliver yourself. But when you deliver yourself to God, you can only do those things and eat those things that God made." He said, "Young man, please, you have all these diseases. You need to stop eating." He took me away from meat. He took me away from all of the things that we think are good. They're not. How could I be sick at 30? With all these maladies, and made this change? The Mexican helped me. God made us. We were not made by a laboratory. If we were the product of a laboratory, then it means that we could eat laboratory food. As an engineer, I saw something. That all machines, they use the human body as the prototype. And what causes machine to go bad? Oil or obstruction, clogging. So what do? I do the same for you, like the Mexican did for me.
Dr. Sebi's interest in natural healing methods emerged from his personal experience with the inadequacies of conventional Western medicine in managing chronic illness. In his youth, Dr. Sebi faced numerous health challenges, including asthma, diabetes, impotence, and obesity. Realizing that these conditions threatened his life, he embarked on a journey of self-discovery and experimented on himself. Eventually, he developed a series of herbal formulations that he claimed cured his ailments. Motivated by these personal successes, Dr. Sebi also claimed that he had used his herbs to cure sickle cell anemia, asthma, HIV/AIDS, cancer, and sometimes blindness. Due to these claims, his followers grew several folds spanning across the globe. Dr. Sebi's followers believe in his herb supplements and dietary approach, stating that it offered many health benefits like reducing inflammation, enhancing immune function, longevity, and improving overall wellness. However, his work was not without critics who called him all sorts of names including fraud and quack, stating he wasn't a real doctor and didn't have any scientific proof to back his claim. To make matters worse, Dr. Sebi was even dragged to court and was charged with practicing medicine without a license, a case he later won flawlessly. And if you really want to follow Dr. Sebi's nutritional approach, there are several guidelines to keep in mind. First, it's super important to stick to the foods listed in his diet guidelines. Adequate hydration is also essential, with a daily goal of drinking at least 1 gallon of natural spring water.
Distilled water to cook with, not to drink, to cook with. because distilled water has a pH of 7. It will rob you of your minerals. To drink the water, the glacier is good. Perrier is good. Anything that is done by Mother Nature. If the alkalinity is being obtained through a process of osmosis, it's no good. It will injure you because they have done it mechanically. You want nature to do it.
And you might ask, why spring water? Well, it's because spring water is rich in minerals and electrolytes, which are important for hydrating the body and supporting its natural detoxification processes. Unlike tap water, which may contain chemicals and impurities, natural spring water is unprocessed and free from additives, making it an ideal choice for those seeking a pure and healthy beverage. Dr. Sebi also recommends avoiding animal products, hybrid foods, and alcohol, as well as refraining from using microwaves, which can potentially strip food of its nutritional value. Finally, he advised us to avoid canned and seedless fruits by opting for whole, natural foods instead to enable us to enjoy a healthy and fulfilling life. So despite the controversy surrounding his methods, Dr. Sebi's work has left a lasting legacy and continues to inspire countless people in their pursuit of wellness through natural, holistic medicine. Dr. Sebi devoted most of his lifetime to exploring plant-based solutions for promoting health and preventing disease, and his expertise attracted numerous high-profile clients, such as Eddie Murphy, Teddy Pendergrass, Lisa Left Eyes Lopes of TLC, Michael Jackson, and John Travolta. Now over to you, Vitali Voyagers. What's your take on Dr. Sebi's approach to a healthy life? Are you currently practicing any of these natural and holistic methods? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. When it comes to your diet, did you know that there are certain foods you eat regularly that can result in rheumatoid arthritis? Click on the video showing on your screen right now to discover the 7 dangerous foods for rheumatoid arthritis so you can make better dietary choices and take preventive measures. See you there.